What's up, guys? Tim in the North back with some more Age of Empires 2 ranked matches. This episode, I am in unfamiliar territory with the Romans. I think this is, I forget the name of this map, Oasis, or yeah, it's one of the changing maps in the map cycle. I do like this map. It's a bit different, so not like an arena game. You'll get to see some early pressure this time. And it's, you know, a little bit different than Arabia. So, my opponent here, Babadaro, is playing as the Incas. I think I stated in the previous episode, I am not a fan of playing as or against Eagle Warrior civs. I just don't really know how to deal with them. I always feel like I have to go to champion or men-at-arms, and they're so slow. They're just it's a tough it's tough to play against until, you know, I get more comfortable with this, understand their counter. But anyway, we are here. I am trying to go with an early scout rush, or the build I'm going with, and then I'm like, oh, wait a second, I don't really want to do that. I'm gonna have to go into like men-at-arms or something. So I am sticking with the same build. My hunt is here next to the berries. I probably could have opted to save this and then had like 3 vills next to the mill shooting them, but I did want to push in early here. You're gonna see that I some of my vills drop off here. I set the rally point over in this direction to pick up the first boar, and I forgot to reset it after the first one came out here. But already 14 seconds idle time for my opponent, 4 seconds for me. I'm curious to see if another vill pops out over here. Okay, I fixed it. Good. This vill did put a house. I wanted to have some kind of a barrier starting, and then brought them back to set up a mill. This Ibex is gonna stay in there for a little bit. It's his cozy new home. Bringing in my second boar here. 11 on food, 2 on wood. My opponent has opted for 3 on wood early on, and 11 on food. Wood is over here. 1 on berry, 2 going on the berries. There's the mill. Okay, they were probably waiting for the get up there. So my opponent is scouting with sheep. Hold on a second. I promise I will fast forward. We are not going to pick back up to see where this little sheep's journey began. And start from there. So, okay. Wow. That is quite the sequence there. So this was one of the starting sheep then. They had to have clicked that and sent it all the way over to my base. I mean, it gives them scouting, right? Just seems, that's so bold. That's bold. I'm assuming there had to have been like maybe a misclick. They went really far out there. They went really far out. All right, so back to normal speed. I'm dropping my barracks down because I've clicked up the feudal age. My opponent has also clicked up the feudal age. Good. Showing up here with Eagle Scout. And I did see this and fired some arrows at it. And I immediately made sure I set the scout onto the Eagle Scout because I am clicking up. My speed should go up a little bit, and I have the advantage here if anything were to go wrong. Getting some damage in, but my opponent also gets to click up as well. speed is in my favor for now. Will this... Yep, down. Okay, so... finishing up on sheep, some on berries here. I've clicked over to gold as well because I know that I need to get gold for man-at-arms. Immediately throwing the blacksmith down. I'm not, like I said, this is the first time I'm playing as the Romans. I'm not super familiar with how they play, but on the quick review of their screen or their tip sheet when you're in game, I think I read that their blacksmith upgrades are doubled or something, so that's why I dropped the blacksmith down super fast and was, you know, trying to prime myself up for some upgrades so I could do some early pressure. My opponent has missed 4 sheep, and I do see this later on, and I decide to put extra pressure because I'm assuming they have to go heavy into wood to try and get farms down after their berries. So yeah, I do end up seeing that at some point, but I am trying to send forward some man-at-arms and trying to get them rolling here. I have moved my wood line. This is something I literally just did for the first time on this game. Usually I'm stuck up here chopping away at very thin wood lines and struggling for wood, which kind of sets me back. But TC time, idle TC time is pretty solid for both of us. 10 and 14, that's not terrible. It's not good because, you know, you want 0 idle TC time. Overall, not bad. Also, this is the first time I'm rewatching this, so I'm going to be trying to digest this as I'm going along. So my scout does come up here, and it runs out. I am seeing this and this is where I think I find the sheep, because I hear the clicking noise. So I'm not going to steal these, but I am going to redirect them out of the way. I don't want to make it easy for my opponent, even though they've already pivoted to farms, so this would require some maneuvering to get them in here and clicking and then monitoring them afterwards. So man-at-arms are gonna peek up in here. As I said, I seen, you know, this is what, 400 food? Yeah, that's 400 food that was left behind. I send the men-at-arms up here. I do want to harass this now. So my eco back at home is doing okay. I'm dropping a market over here because if I do get an influx in wood, I can sell off, especially since I'm going early with gold units. And I'm not just doing scouts here. But my opponent's base from an overhead. My third man-at-arms is about to come out, and I've set man-at-arms here. My opponent is opting for a stone wall at this point. So in my mind, I'm telling myself either my opponent is willing to throw out stone right now, which would slow them down getting another TC out, or they're already on stone. So clearly they're not on stone, but I did scout this with my scout. So I do see that stone is over here. So this is something I am going to keep an eye on. I set the scout over here just to drag attention away from this. I decided to attack the actual gate. I'm assuming my opponent looked away after they put the stone walls up, but this is going to go down, and I am going to get some gold kills with this. I have upgraded to forging. So this is why I don't like playing against the Eagle Scouts, because I do have to opt for like the man-at-arms, and they're just slow. They're just very slow. I know there's an upgrade. This is a gate, so there's another gap here for the walk through. But this is about to get very messy soon. I've opted to drop a forward barracks. I have 5 on gold. I'm about to finish up my berries, and I do have 13 farms down, so I'm doing pretty well. These guys just finished up. I still have 500 and some wood, so my eco is looking steady right now. Some of these vills did run out here. As you can see, they're now becoming one with the earth. So I've cleared this wood line, and I want to set my man-at-arms up here and see if I can get inside for any kind of pressure. Still not on stone yet, but you're gonna see I move these man-at-arms. Obviously, my opponent doesn't want these getting in here. I wouldn't either. So they're going to opt for another stone wall. So I'm going to keep moving my man-at-arms as long as they want to keep spending the resources to put down for walls. I'm fine with that. They're already clicking up the castle age though, so that is going to be a little bit of an issue since I'm right around the corner, but I'm not there. I do have 20 on food, so I'm in much better shape than what my opponent is right now. They've also thrown a bunch of vills on the stone. Another building goes down to seal this, so I'm not going to waste any more time there. Let them spend their resources to build another house.
Salve.
And I think I clicked back here to keep pressure going. I also have some man-at-arms over here that I want to send just to, again, create pressure. I do have a significant Vil lead right now, even though I have a minute and 7 seconds idle TC time. I have also clicked up the castle age finally. I am grabbing horse collar, which I wish I would have grabbed that a lot sooner. Trying to get in through back here. I have man-at-arms beating up on houses over here, so doing okay. I think I clicked back here to make sure my eco was doing okay. Checked on these guys. I've also opted for another forward barracks.
Salve.
More man-at-arms approaching. My opponent does get a spearman out here, and this becomes a little bit distracting. I click the Vil to the spearman and the man-at-arms to the spearman, but the man-at-arms are just so slow. And while I'm doing this, right, I'm clicking the scout around in a circle here, and I'm not seeing what's happening up here. So my opponent has decided to migrate out of their base. I don't think there's actually 11 on food. I think there's food people here. They didn't even finish their berries. So more stone walls, right? They're at 500 stone, but they've decided to migrate, and that's not where they're stopping. I think, yeah, my man-at-arms are just walking by them right now, and that's because the rally point has been set over here. I've opted to build a tower here, and I'm gonna regret that. My opponent has decided to drop a castle on my face, so this is rough. Because I'm sending all of my forces here. They're beating up all this economy. This is where my intention is, and at some point I do see this go up, and I try to just send everything that I have here. Yeah, I took some farmers first. I wanted to click on Vils just to slow this down if possible. Unfortunately, like, all of my militaries over here, I've also made forward barracks. So 8 kills. Let's see if I get another Vil kill here. My opponent, you can see, has selected them all and is just spam tapping the castle here. I do pick up a couple Vil kills, but you know, Vils don't like to stay hostile. So they're you know, after they kill their target, they're ready to move on. So I did pick up quite a bit of Vil kills there, but at the end of the day, this castle does go up. So rather than pulling all these away like I did and sacrificing them, thinking back, I should have stayed on the castle because they don't have murder holes, and they could have just stayed there attacking the castle. So yeah, I'm in here. I am getting some eco kills. Part of those eco numbers going up, the eco kills was me over here. But yeah, my opponent's already got Kamukes out. This is just not good. There's an overchop here, so they immediately get in. This is decimating my base, but this tower here, while I thought I was getting pressure, it's only put me in debt to putting another town center down. So I'm out here trying to click around and send these guys all over the place to try and find stone, because I don't want to leave them in my base. And the alarm is just going off, warning me that you're dying. You're dying. This is a disaster. He's decided to send all his vills out over here. A man-at-arms did catch this. He's trying to drop a town center here. I have man-at-arms following over here. Like I said, this is a mess. I have 21 kills. My opponent's up to 19 kills. They're dropping a siege workshop here, but there's not much here. I have some people on farms, obviously. I did finally get some people on stone. I'm trying to get that 100. But you can see I have a lot of idle villagers out here. Like I said, I'm trying to also click these guys around to try to find more stone or another resource other than wood to put a town center on. My vision here, I didn't do great scouting because I was trying to get early pressure, so I can't see shit. I did click these man-at-arms to come out over here to attack the castle. Obviously, these can be quite damaging to structures. So eventually my opponent is going to want to address this or need to address this. I don't know what happened here. I don't know why they moved off. Oh, I think I might have clicked them over here. I may have been zoomed out and double clicked, and it may have picked them up. So, I do get a town center down here with the stone that I acquired. Those Kamukes did get me off the stone, but I did pick up enough stone. I did click this guy onto this ville and it put him in arrow fire, so that was a mess. I have successfully attacked this town center enough so they can't garrison in there. 27-26 eco kills. I still have a Vill lead just because I've been a little bit more consistent with putting Vills out. But my opponent's starting to boom a little bit in here. They did have some Ibex in here. There's a wood line. He did fence up. They're not aware of this. I'm also not aware of this right now. But yeah, so this is how this one was playing out. I almost tapped out when the castle came down because I'm not about that. You know, it's stressful. I'm just trying to have some fun, right? But I know that I had pressure over here, and I figured I still had a chance at least. And I knew that his economy couldn't be that good, right? While mine's beat up at home, I do have it elsewhere, and I haven't seen much out there. So I figured I'll hang in there. So I did take the idle vills from here and move them over to this golden stone, which is absolutely needed right now so I can get another town center up and so I can keep gold coming in. I am battling food crisis right now though. I did send a bunch of excuse me. I did send a bunch of the men-at-arms over to the castle to try and get this down. They're whittling away, but my opponent immediately drops a tower here, which, again, good. They're spending stone, but they still have enough for, you know, another town center if they need to. So, I am trying to build a house here to prevent anything from coming over to this side, but this, you know, this tower is gonna clean up anything that I have. And this scorpion will do plenty of damage as well. So at the end of the day, this castle is going to stay up. I have decided to try and pressure this area as well. My opponent has walled this. I am dropping another town center, so my second TC, which would have been my third TC, is officially on the ground. My opponent still has the one TC they're trying to operate out of. And they've opted for the fishing ships. So I feel like this is an overlooked thing at lower ELOs, but this is, I think, the slowest, even slower than farming, for fishing ships to grab shoreline fish. But, you know, they only have wood, they only have so many farms, so at the end of the day, it's, you gotta get what you can, right? So that's how they gotta get food, that's how they gotta get food. They're dropping a town center right where my town center once stood.
Hey.
I'm clicking everywhere over here, trying to figure out what's going on. I've dropped my own siege workshop here. I'm trying to get an understanding as to what's happening with this map. I know that I've lost this, and I have some visual based on my buildings. Right? I don't know the town centers here, but I see them, you know, working the farm, so I can only assume that they have a town center there. I was trying to get this remaining stone. I have put a ram onto this market. I am still struggling to get farms down though. I'm 6 farms and I have 12 on wood. I'm slowly trying to add farms back to all this. Still have a villain here trying to take houses down. So during this time, this has been sheer panic for me because, you know, I lost this. Thinking back, I would have tried to have gotten this monastery down a lot sooner and pumped out a bunch of monks to convert vills. That would have been a net change of 2, -1 for my opponent, +1 for me. So I definitely should have gone for monks a lot sooner than what I ended up doing here. I just now queued one up. Or I have a scratch in my throat. I'm trying to get through this. So this has been all cleared. I think my opponent sends some bills back up there, but I am trying to slowly pick this off what I can. If I can house my opponent, I'm trying to do that just to get them to spend more resources. My opponent has opted to throw some more bills over there. These are still fishing away. And I think my opponent's just trying to clear my base out and reestablish dominance there. Here's my opponent clicking. All right, so this is where the vills ended up showing up. He's trying to rebuild back at his own base. He's dropping a market. I want to get this town center down. I see the flag there, so I know somebody's got to be in there. They abandoned ship, and we're going to get 3 more Vil kills. I have opted to throw one of my rams at the docks here, largely because I don't want any more food coming in if he's low on Vils. Trying to take some more houses down to get as close as I can to pop capping my opponent if that's at all possible. I'm trying to get some extra barracks down as well. I probably should have pivoted to, and you know, it's easy to say this when I'm not under pressure right now. I should have decided to go with archers at this point. There's plenty of food, plenty of wood and gold coming in for me at the moment. And I would have gotten around a little bit quicker. It would have been harder for people to have gotten away from me. I wasn't seeing any eagles, so it's not like they could have eaten up arrow shots. So they were getting ready to move to the gold over here. My man-at-arms did show up, and my opponent is fleeing. Archers would have been a lot better move here. I've decided to throw a town center down right where my opponent was. So we have officially traded places, which will be the name of this video. I've also decided to throw a castle down. I'm thinking about Imperial Age at this point. I know my food looks bad, but I do have 15 farms down. I'm leaning heavier into rams right now, so it's not like I'm spending a ton of food. So I'm thinking about trying to get to Imperial Age so I can get Trebs out to take this castle down. Well, this town center is going to go up. This market just went back down. Again, I'm just trying to ram down anything that that is going to benefit my opponent, regardless of how important it might be. My opponent is starting to establish a little bit more siege over here. Really, they've been kind of stranded. These Kamukes are running around. I think they've scouted. They have not scouted these town centers. They do see the farms. All right, so here come the Kamukes. They are now trying to take the siege workshop, poke that down. I'm trying to get the rams out of there and gather them at this point because there's not much more for me to take out at this point back here. So we are just going to try and get ourselves directed towards this castle. I finally grabbed the wheelbarrow. I'm almost at the 1,000 food needed. I'm trying to drop some stables just to get extra units onto the field that can walk around quicker, because now that I've seen these out here, I'm wondering, you know, did my opponent drop any buildings over here? So I might need to get cavalry units out so I can try to see what's going on with the whole field here. But I'm trying to establish map control, and you know, at this point I don't know that, but you know, we can see that I do have that control at the moment. Which, thank God, right? Because I was sweating this since that castle had dropped. But a nice bit of a farming eco going here for my opponents. They're back on stone. They're about to take my market down. I've clicked up to imp, and I'm bringing all the rams to this castle. Actually, I think I did all idle military and clicked them over here. I'm trying to get some stables down for maybe like a scout rush. I'm not trying to upgrade the scouts just because resources are limited, and I'm trying to get pressure before my opponent has the ability to do much more or click up. Some idle vills. Just a lot going on around here. This gold's about dried up too. But here's my opponent. Send in a fleet of villagers and some scorpions over here. There's a nice little hill, and he's looking to drop another castle on my face. I'm assuming this is my opponent's like #1 strategy, is to just castle drop people. Just because it's what they did next. They know to wall behind themselves to make sure it goes up. I did click some units up here, but as soon as I seen that drop, I sent these rams to the castle here, because I'm like, he had to have pulled what he had to get this castle up if this is what he's got to rely on. These guys will get some damage. I did set the rally point for the stables over here, so if anything does pop out on these rams, the knights can help clean that up. So immediately clicking on this castle, we are going to get this down, and I'm trying to raid this eco that's over here. Castle does go down. My opponent paused the game and hit GG, so that was a relief to finally see that come in. But yeah, this was a tough one to not panic too much when that castle came down, because you know, early on you saw that I dropped a bunch of vills over here and I had vills over here. They did poor scouting, so you know, as a testament to make sure you scout your map well enough. But it's funny that we did trade sides of the map here. But yeah, this was a fun one. It's always nice to be able to get a win when someone drops a castle, because it just feels like such a disadvantage at this ELO for me at 9 something. It happens so often. It's tough to bounce back, especially mostly in arena, because I think you feel more trapped in your base than you do safe in the base when a castle comes in. That's gonna do it for me, guys. I hope you enjoyed this one as much as I did playing it. So for now, feel free to like, comment, consider subscribing if you're not already subscribed to the channel. Catch you all in the next one. Peace.